Welcome back to the Watch List. We bring in our panel to talk all about Palantir, Doug Clinton, founder, CEO, Intelligent Alpha, and Tom Essaye, founder, The Sevens Report. Thank you so much for being with us. Doug, your thoughts here on Palantir?
Nicole, you asked, do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you sick of it? And I would say the answer is this: at Intelligent Alpha, we use AI to do stock analysis and our portfolio management. We don't currently own Palantir. So AI, at least our models, don't like Palantir enough to own it. As a human stock investor and someone who's very interested in AI-related stocks, I would say I neither love it nor hate it, nor am I sick of it. I think that it's an incredible company. They've had tremendous business momentum, right? 50% year-over-year growth in the US. The issue is it just trades at 50 times revenue, and that's a hard multiple to justify.
So even coming down off the high of 125 to 84 bucks, you're still concerned about the valuation at this level. Tom Essaye, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would echo those concerns on the valuation. I think that, it's easy to get lost in the story of these AI stocks, right? And sort of all the hype and the growth. And now all of them have come in so far year to date. But we have to look at it in the context of reasonable valuation. And while Palantir has come down quite a bit, it's still not cheap enough for me to love it either. I think that they're caught in a bit of a vice here. I think that they're getting some macro pressure as we're getting a bunch of negative AI headlines, and sentiment is soured a little bit on the space. And they're also getting some microeconomic headwinds in the form of uncertainty over federal contracts, which are a large part of their business.
Well, that's part of it, because we did see federal contracts. I mean, shares of Palantir came down, Oracle, Leidos, because the Pentagon had canceled about 280 million over budget projects, and that goes into that. And so if the Department of Defense is canceling, and so on and so forth, Doug, how big of a deal is this? So $84 is not even a buy. When would you say, look, I like the AI spend story. I like what goes on here. I do think there's demand. When does Palantir become attractive to you, Doug?
If I think about how our models think about the world, let me give you an answer of what are companies we like right now, and then what would Palantir have to do to be in the ballpark of those companies. On the software side, playing the AI game, our models really like Team, Atlassian, and HubSpot, so HUBS, as two ways to play AI-powered software companies that we think could see revenue inflecting later this year. Both of them, Nicole, trade at about 9 times forward revenue versus 50 for Palantir. So for Palantir to even get close to where some of these other companies trade, it's still a significant move down from here. That's not to say that the stock can't go up in the near term. If AI finally gets a bid, Palantir probably works. But from a pure valuation perspective, for this company to trade more in line with some other software stocks, I think you still have a lot of downside before you get there.
Yeah. So, Tom, what's the end all here? When I said, do you love it? Do you hate it? You're also concerned about valuation. Do you step in and buy it at a certain level, or are there other names in the AI sort of play that you do like?
Of the love it, hate it, sick of it, to be honest, I'm a little bit sick of it, right? Because we're all sort of having this very sort of generic conversation on AI spend and what are the trends going to be and what happens to these valuations. I think that talking about the valuations of these companies, we have to look back. I mean, you look at a Palantir, this was a stock with a 3 handle on it not that long ago. I mean, less than a year ago. So yeah, I think that it can continue to decline. I would agree that it's got to drop a bunch more before I would be interested in it, because I think there are real questions about the pace of AI spend and can it continue, and what's been assumed in the stock price. Look, it's not like Palantir isn't a good company. They are. It's just so richly valued. I think it could fall up quite a bit more before you get value buyers stepping in.
Yeah, Palantir, I mean, these are rough numbers, soared 300% over 1 year, trade at 94 times forward earnings, 440% premium to its peers. These are FactSet data stats on the 27th of March. So, and there was still concern about tariffs and how that could affect a name like Palantir. So what do you do here when you look at this name, Doug Clinton, and you say, are there other names that may be more attractive to you right now? If so, which ones would those be?
For Palantir, I think the virtue is patience here. So, we wouldn't step in here. Our models are not stepping in here to buy Palantir. And names that I would point to, I'd go back to Atlassian, so TEAM, and HubSpot, HUBS, as two names that they're starting to integrate AI more directly into some of their existing software platforms. We're seeing this at every software company. And I think the question becomes, when do some of these companies that are integrating AI into their platforms, when do they see a revenue inflection from that addition of AI? And I think the answer for those two companies may be in the next year or so, which would be good for the stocks.
Yeah, you mentioned TEAM for Atlassian and also HubSpot. Hub's the ticker symbol there. It's great to see both Doug Clinton and Tom Essaye. Thank you so much.